welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title, I am doing a ugly series. It is called the ugly series because we're going to be breaking it down in a few different parts, probably 3, talking about the ugly side of being pregnant, the ugly side of labor and delivery. I'm sorry, no, that goes within the first part. The first part will be the ugly side of pregnancy. The second part should be the ugly side of postpartum life. And the third part would be the ugly side of motherhood. Why am I doing this? Because it's not talked about a lot. It's talked about more now, but not a lot. Everyone likes to sugarcoat it. Everyone likes to tell you the whole thing is just beautiful, great, and wonderful, and you have a beautiful, wonderful, angelic little kid afterwards, and it's great. And that is not the truth. So we're gonna start with part 1, which is called the ugly side of pregnancy, as again, you can tell by the title. I'm just sipping on some tea here. And I have some notes down here, so if I keep looking down, that is why. So the first part is the ugly side of pregnancy. Before I dive into everything, I want to say I am in no way, shape, or form a medical professional of any kind. So everything I say is coming from mothers that I have talked to. They put in their input, my own experiences as well, and yeah, a bunch of different people. So what I'm saying is legit, okay? But I'm not a medical professional, so don't shoot me if I say watermelon keeps you hydrated, because it did for me when I was pregnant. But you know, here we go. Part 1 to the ugly series, the ugly side of pregnancy. Oh, one more thing. I do want to say everyone is different. So every pregnant individual is different. Every pregnancy is different. Your first pregnancy may be a million times harder than your second one, or vice versa, okay? So keep that in mind. Everyone is different. Your experience may be nothing like what I'm about to say. But I just don't want to only talk about the pretty stuff. So anyways, people like to sugarcoat pregnancy. They like to make it seem like unicorns and rainbows and butterflies and everything all sparkly and pretty, and that is not the case for the majority. It is super awesome, super cool. It is amazing that our bodies are able to do this, are able to produce life. You are literally creating life, an entire human being. Your body, that's it. Your body is doing it. That is a lot of work. That is a lot of work on you. That takes a toll on you. So I'm not saying that it is not amazing and it is not cool AF, but we're gonna talk about the ugly side. So if you can't handle the truth, click off this video. If you're scared, let's say you're pregnant right now and you don't want to hear the bad stuff, click off this video because we're going to talk about it, okay? So cheers. I wrote down a couple points, so we're going to kind of start easy. Morning sickness. Morning sickness, I do not know why it's called morning sickness. Some people don't get it at all. Some people don't get it in the morning. Some people get it at night, middle of the day. It can be all day. Some people like to say, oh, it's just the first couple weeks of pregnancy and you just throw up in the morning time and you go on about your day. For some people that can be exactly true. For others, I'm an example. I had morning sickness with my first at night, only at night, which is when I was also the most hungry. I was the most irritated with my first kid. And I could not eat because I would just instantly barf it up. Like, I remember one time getting soup, ordering pho. If you know what that is, it's a Vietnamese noodle soup. It's really good. And that used to be like one of my favorite things to eat. And I got that because I wasn't feeling good. And I'm like, this will make me feel better. And even that, I would just puke it right. So yeah, it can be any time of the day. So don't let someone just tell you, oh, it's literally just in the morning. It could be all day, every day. Also, it is not only in the beginning of your pregnancy. It can literally last from the day you find out you're pregnant, or let's just say from the beginning of your pregnancy to the very last day. It is not always just a first trimester thing. I have friends who have had it their entire pregnancy, and then they're constantly dehydrated because they're constantly throwing up. They have to be on medication. Some have been hospitalized, and by that I mean they go in because like I can't keep anything down. I need to feed the baby, obviously, but the baby's not letting me eat anything. I'm just throwing up. I can barely even keep water down, and then they have to go to the hospital. They have to monitor you, and they usually keep you and try to get you fluids and all of that. That's not just no little, oh, you just threw up and went on about your day. No. So some people don't have morning sickness at all. Not even once, not even a little bit. Good for them. Lucky mother truckers, okay? My kids are in the playroom and I keep sending them back in there. So if you hear noises, playroom's like a little ways over there and you could probably hear it. Okay, so that's one of the easier or things that people do talk about for the most part. They may not go into detail about it, but the sickness can be horrible. I know that I've been over the toilet for hours because the second I would leave the bathroom, I'd have to just throw up again. And that was not fun. And then sometimes you'd feel so sick, but you could not throw up. And you're like, I know if I just throw up, I'll feel better. If I just puke and get it out, I'll feel better. But you just couldn't do it. You just felt nauseous as heck all day, but nothing will come up, which then makes you not want to eat, but then you have to eat because you have another little life inside of you that you need to feed, and you also need to keep yourself fed and healthy and strong. And it is a roller coaster. You just have to figure it out. And then let's say a couple weeks go by, you're like, yeah, I got it down pat. If I eat crackers in the morning, nothing too heavy, then I'm good. By afternoon, I could eat a big lunch, and then I'm good for a little snack, and then dinner, da, 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 da. Now you got your schedule down pat, and then boom, it changes. All of a sudden, now you're sick in the middle of the day. So doing your little routine doesn't work anymore. Literally in a day, in a few hours, in the same day that you got it figured out, it could change. I'm not trying to discourage anyone from getting pregnant, but I'm never doing it again, that's for sure. I'm never having another baby. Okay, so let's go into the second one. This one kind of goes with the second one. With the first one, change in appetite. So along with the sickness comes your taste buds completely change. Your change in appetite. Either you're extremely hungry, you're not hungry at all, and then you have to eat. That was really hard for me at certain times, is that I knew that I had to eat. I had to keep food in you. You have to feed yourself, feed the baby, keep you and the baby healthy and strong, right? And so I wouldn't be hungry, but I would have to make myself eat, which I hate doing. I hated doing that. It felt gross. It makes you feel gross. Imagine feeling so full and stuffed, plus all your organs and stuff are literally being moved and pushed upon and changed up as this baby grows and stuff. So you already feel just bleh, and then now you have to force yourself to eat. I used to feel so gross, but I knew I just had to do it, and I hated it. And then it messes up. It just makes you feel gross. I don't know how else to say that, but you feel just eating. Imagine stuffing yourself with the biggest, best meal ever. You're satisfied. You're tired. Your body just feels bloated and different. And then being like, I have eaten in 3 hours, 4 hours. I have to eat something, but I just don't want to. And then forcing yourself to eat. I could not stand that. So that's change in appetite. You can't eat the things that you love. That is not always the case. But since your appetite and your taste buds are changing, a lot of times some things that you love you can't eat, or like they say, you can't eat a lot of seafood that's high in mercury, like sushi, because it's raw. You can't eat that. They say don't eat that. And some people love sushi. Imagine loving sushi or something, and then they tell you, oh, you can't eat that. What you mean? Okay, so, or they say things like you can't eat your steak medium rare, you need to eat it medium. I like mine medium rare, so it sucks. And some of you are probably gonna be like, well, that's such a small thing to sacrifice for making a child. Okay, so what? These things are still very hard to deal with. And they say you can eat things in moderation. So let's, for example, with my first kid, I was obsessed with Chipotle. I mean, obsessed. I would eat it every day if I could. And then we would go somewhere and I'd be like, yeah, let's grab Chipotle while we're out. And my husband would be like, okay. And then I sat down to eat it and I was like, I don't want this. And he was like, what do you mean? I'm like, this does not taste right. It didn't taste the same. I didn't have the same like love for it. I was just like, took a bite and was like, no. Bailey's eating her lunch now, so she'll be a little bit loud. Yeah, so that really sucks. You can't always eat the things you love. Let's say you eat chocolate a lot or candy a lot. Not healthy, right? Not supposed to do that. Excuse me. It's also bad for your teeth. And I learned from my doctor that my doctors told me that your teeth, when you're pregnant, are more sensitive. So if you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm flossing more, I'm getting more plaque on my teeth, or my breath stinks more, or something like that, pregnancy will do that to you. So that's another thing that sucks. Things you like make you sick. Like the soup I was talking about, certain things I would eat that I normally would eat every day, some cereal, barfing it up, make me sick. Or the smell of, with Bailey, my second kid, the smell of like raw, I think it was raw beef, like hamburger meat especially, or ground beef especially, I would feel so sick. And so I wasn't really, cooking certain stuff because I just could not get over the smell. I know some people said they used to love the smell of like raw onions or something like that, and then all of a sudden they'd be like, I can't smell it, I can't look at it, makes me feel sick. The smell of gasoline, I like the smell of gasoline, and when you're pregnant, it makes you want to barf, literally. And you probably will. Changes your body goes through. Now, if you're pregnant, you probably, or planning on getting pregnant or whatever, have been, whatever, you know that your body's going to change. That is inevitable. Your body is going to change. That is a fact. But people don't go into detail and tell you how bad it can really be and how uncontrollable and uncomfortable it is. So as far as the uncontrollable thing goes, like I said, you cannot control what your body does. When you're not pregnant, if you start to gain weight, you can change the way you eat, you can exercise, and you can try to get rid of the weight that you're gaining or slow that down, whatever, right? That's not happening when you're pregnant. You're gonna grow regardless. You could be the healthiest person in the world. Your stomach is going to get bigger, if not everything. So yeah, your stomach growing on its own, like that enough, is uncomfortable, it's painful, it stretches. You can feel certain things that you probably never thought you could feel before. Like your organs literally get moved and pushed around to make room for this baby. That is painful, okay? When you're feeling those weird pains that you don't know how to describe it and you never felt it before, you're like, I didn't know I could hurt right there. They will tell you what it is. That's what it is. The stretching, you can feel your skin stretch. That is painful. Go ahead and start pulling your stomach right now. Don't really do this. See how far you get, how far you can stretch it on your own. That hurts. And this is an everyday thing. Your body is changing every single day, every couple of weeks, every trimester, blah, 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 blah. That is painful. You're in pain from start to finish. And don't forget, you got to still go through labor, and then you still have to heal while taking care of an entire person who literally needs you to survive. Okay? So it's uncontrollable, which is one of the hardest parts on its own, is the fact that it's uncontrollable. You can't control it. Your breasts grow, your nipples are huge, and they're dark, and they're sore, and you just look at yourself and you're like, ugh, who are you? You look in the mirror and you feel ugly a lot of the time, which then messes with your self-esteem, messes with your mentality, okay? That's another topic, but we're gonna keep going on this changes from your body. One of the things is you get more fluids coming out of your vagina on the regular. So you feel that feels gross because you're either constantly changing your panties or you feel like you need to wear a panty liner all the time, which who the F wants to do that for 10 months? Yes, 40 weeks is 10 months. Don't come for me. Argue with yourself. That is for me and for the people, like I said, I talk to a lot of people, and yes, it's gross. It makes you feel gross. Like, who wants to do that? Also, with the weight gain, you sweat more. No, you feel like you might stink because you're sweating more, and your clothes don't fit. So you look at yourself and you're just like, you're just not happy. The acne, some people, especially people of color, like a lot of Black women, will get this dark neck, and it gets dark and it almost looks crusty. And all that is hormone. You go to the doctor and be like, okay, am I okay? Like, I've scrubbed this, I exfoliated it, I've taken a shower. That didn't happen to me, but it has happened to my family members and other women I know as well. And the doctor's like, no, just your hormones. Just discoloration of the skin, especially there for whatever reason, is common. And you're just like, what? So now I have to walk around with this thing on my neck that looks like I'm dirty. Who wants to do that? So that's one thing that makes you just feel more changes to your body. Your hair grows, which is cool, and then afterwards it falls out, but that is going to be in part 2. But yeah, the changes are so uncontrollable and they're so quick and so drastic. Sometimes you're just like, whoa. Like, you'll wake up overnight and your stomach will be so big and you'll just be like, what happened? Or your breasts, you'll be like, what the heck? Like, I went to sleep and my shirt didn't look like this, and now I can't even pull it down all the way. It's crazy. It is crazy, 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 crazy. You also, sometimes your feet swell, so your shoes don't fit. I was wearing slides for a huge portion of my second pregnancy. Yeah. And I know, like, even when it's cold, some people just don't have a choice. Like, I can only put on some socks and some slides, and that's all I can fit. You might wear other shoes, and then you can't get them off your feet. That happened to me. I was wearing boots that I always wear. I put them on perfectly fine before we left, and by the time we got back to the house, also walking around can make your feet swell when you're pregnant, but could not get the shoes off. I had to have my husband pull them as I was holding on, I think, to the couch or something, or a chair or something like that, and I was just holding, like, and he would just pull with all his might to get them off of my feet. I'm like, well, I won't be wearing those anytime soon. I have shoes, no joke, that are still stretched out. Yeah, I have shoes that are literally still stretched out to this day, and my youngest is about to be 1.5. So why do I still have them? I don't want to throw them away. I don't know why. They're not going to shrink. Maybe if I throw them in the dryer 3 times, I don't know. But yeah, that's a thing. So that sucks. And then, like, okay, the people are like, you could just buy maternity clothes and, you know, buy bigger shoes. That's money, for one. And for two, once the pregnancy is over, what are you doing with these big ass clothes? So, some of the stuff you will still be able to fit for a while. I was fortunate, however, my weight, I was really lucky and happy that my weight just disappeared. So the few maternity clothes that I did end up buying, they just didn't fit. They don't fit anymore. And like I said, it was a waste. I didn't want to waste money on buying these clothes. And half the time I didn't even like the way they looked. So I would just throw on, like, oversized shirts that started fitting me as regular shirts, and leggings that were stretchy, and yoga pants that were super stretchy. I have a friend who had, I don't remember which pregnancy this was for her, but she had to carry around an empty water bottle to spit in because she was making so much saliva that it was way too much to constantly swallow, and it would make her sick if she did keep swallowing her own saliva. Isn't that crazy? Like, you can't even swallow your spit because it's just that much. Who wants to do that? Apparently us, right? All right, I'm trying to keep this video short and to the point, so let's move on, even though I could talk about changes to your body all day. If y'all have any questions, I will try my, please put them in the comments. I will try my best to answer them. If I can't answer them, maybe somebody else who has seen the video will be able to reply to your comment. Again, I'm speaking from experience and talking to other moms. So, and everyone's different. Every pregnancy is different. So I'm sure somebody somewhere can probably answer your questions, hopefully. Okay, so this is a big one. Your mental health. Your mental health takes a huge hit. And not necessarily for the better. You're scared. You don't know what to expect, especially your first pregnancy, first kid, first pregnancy. I am feeding my, yeah, it's chocolate. Feeding my kid chocolate. To expect. You could ask questions all day, and like I said, a lot of people are just gonna sugarcoat it for you. And it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be beautiful, and at the end, it'll all be worth it. You'll see your baby, and you won't even remember anything. Then why am I sitting here telling you this, talking about this ugly series? You know. But your mental health takes a huge hit throughout the entire pregnancy, during, and super duper hard after. That will be saved for part 2, of course. But mental health during pregnancy, it is an emotional and physical roller coaster that you just can't get off of. Imagine being on the scariest roller coaster you've ever been on with no seatbelt. All you can do is hold on, and it goes over and over and over for 10 months, and you can't get off of it. That is what pregnancy is, and that is what the mental health part of it is. You are happy one day, the next you're angry, the next you're sad. And if you already have kids, let's say you're on your second or third pregnancy, you have to deal with that while still taking care of your kids or still going to work. I am a stay-at-home mom, so I didn't go to work, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you still have to go on with your everyday things when your brain is literally telling you that you are so angry, everyone sucks, it's too fucking hot outside, and you're just pissed. Your other kid wants to play and have a tea party, so you better be happy-go-lucky because you're not going to take your anger out on your kid. You might take it out on your significant other who got you pregnant while they don't got to deal with nothing. Let me take a sip of my tea. Seriously though, that's a part of it as well. You start to resent your significant other. I'm gonna say spouse just because I was pregnant, and then we got married while I was pregnant, but you feel what I'm saying. So the person you're with, let's say you're with a man and you're pregnant, you start to resent them, or men as a whole, you start to resent them because they cannot get pregnant. They do not have to feel anything. They can get you pregnant over and over and over, but they don't have to go through nothing. And I know some men are like, well, I had to deal with her moods going to get her ice cream at 3 a.m. and stuff like that. Yeah, you did. That's what you had to deal with. That is nothing, okay? That is nothing, especially in comparison to what she is going through. So you start to resent them, and then it's like you look at them sometimes, you don't want to talk to them, you don't want to look at them, you don't want them to talk to you, you don't want them to touch you because you feel gross, you think you look gross. They did this to you, essentially. You know, that's what you're thinking, because your mental health is now taken a hit. Obviously, you know, 2 consenting adults, blah blah blah, it's no one's fault, yada yada yada, but at the end of the day, this is just what happens in your head. And it sucks. Not even just that, but back to the body changes, that now takes a hit on your mental health and your self-esteem. And you're just like, I know this is happening because I'm bringing life into this world and that's what I wanted to do, blah, 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 blah. But it's not going to change the fact of how you feel or how you look or how you think you look. And it sucks. And then, like I said, you're scared, you start worrying. Like, the safest place your child will ever be is inside of you. And that sucks because you could be in a car and start freaking out like, oh my gosh, what if we get in a car accident? Or you could fall and you freak out. I was pregnant with Bailey and Ava kicked me in my stomach and I had to go to the hospital because I started having really bad contractions and I was in so much pain. And then I was scared and I already have anxiety and I'm a high risk pregnancy. So all of that was running through my head and then I was in a lot of pain and I was home by myself. So I had to call my husband to come home and drop me off at the hospital. And then they had to give me medicine and stuff to stop the contractions. Wait, did I get that shot to make me stop the contractions? I don't exactly remember. It was a very scary day, but yeah, I got a shot, right? I'm pretty sure I got the shot to stop the contractions because they were like, yeah, these are like real contractions and we don't want you to have these. You're nowhere near due. So I was there for a while just being monitored and like, that is some scary stuff. Like a little kick to the stomach because we were laying in bed and she like was rolling around playing or whatever and she accidentally kicked me and yeah. And you know, I wasn't gonna get mad at her. You're not gonna take it out on your kid, but then you get paranoid. And then now you're paranoid even more, even just playing with your kid. Now you're paranoid. Like it is a lot. I could go into more details. I might have to make another part just on the mental aspect of it on its own. All right, I'm gonna say one more thing and then close out. The comments people say to you when you are pregnant. A lot of times when, let's say you're not pregnant, someone might say something about your appearance and you won't even care, or you might just cuss them out and not think twice, right? But then when you're pregnant, again, your mental health is just different, your mindset is different, and you can't necessarily control that. It just happens. So then someone says something to you, oh, you look like you're about to pop. What do you do tomorrow? And you have a whole 3 months to go. Who wants to hear that? Oh, you look so tired. Thank you, bitch. I'm growing a fucking human in my stomach. Hell yeah, I'm tired. YouTube is not gonna like those curse words, but that's the truth. That's how you feel, okay? It's the truth. And you're just like, yeah, I'm tired. I am literally, my body is doing something 24/7 for me and another human being. 24/7. All your energy is being sucked out of you by a little leech. Just kidding. By a baby. And it's crazy. Like, yes, I'm tired. I look tired because I am tired. Who ever thought telling someone, girl, you look tired today, was a compliment or something that you need to say, especially to someone who is pregnant? What? Shut up. Wow, you're big. Are you sure you're only having one? You're about to get one smooth kick to the fucking throat if you say something else to me. One thing I hated, I think with my first, was my belly button. So like I have an innie and your belly button pops out and then as your stomach grows, it just turns flat. So I just had, so this is your belly button, pretend this part right here, this is your stomach, this was your belly button. It went in, right? So it was kind of back a little bit. Then as you grow, it popped out. And then as your stomach grows, it just goes into line with your stomach and it looks like you just have a big, and it gets dark as hell. Dark as, like I'm not kidding you, it was like black, like legit this color, my belly button, and it was huge. Not to mention that dark line you get from here all the way to the top of your vagina. And my belly button was just so big and it was so ugly. I hated it. I hated it. And I had people make comments, family members, make a little joke or something, and I would just be like, why do people think that's okay? I don't care if you think you're trying to be funny. Oh, I'm your auntie. I'm your daddy. I was just making a joke. You know, it doesn't matter. You're making a joke at my expense while I'm pregnant and emotional. Back to the mental thing. Emotional as hell, which is uncontrollable. And it's not funny. It's annoying. It's not funny. It's rude. Like, have some respect, grow up and shut up and think about someone else's feelings in that situation. It's not that hard to do. Or when people want to touch you, they want to come up to you, oh my gosh, you're pregnant, and they try to reach out and rub your stomach or something. I am so blessed and thankful and grateful that had never happened to me personally, but it has happened to other people that I talk to and people that I know. And I don't know who raised y'all to think you could just walk up and touch somebody. Would you walk up to a woman who wasn't obviously pregnant and try to touch her? No. Would you walk up to anybody that you didn't know and reach out and try to just touch them because you think it's cute or whatever? Like, what the hell? So because I'm pregnant, you want to walk up to me and touch my stomach. Y'all should be charged with assault or harassment, physical harassment. You don't just walk up to somebody and try to rub their stomach. No, that is, ugh. That is gross and ill. Ill. That's no different than somebody walking up and being like, hey girl, hey, get the off, do I know you? And they just want to touch your stomach. And at this point, your titties and your stomach probably connected. So you're too close to my body parts in my personal space. Who in their right effing mind thinks they can just walk up to somebody and touch them? Somebody that you do not know. People that, friends and family members, even when they were pregnant, don't get me wrong, family members especially, I'd be like, oh, and then I'd be like, can I feel? Can I touch? Ask first. Even if it's somebody you know. If it's somebody you don't know, don't ask. That's weird. Annoying, weird, uncalled for, gross, creepy, all of the above. The hell? Mommy. But yeah, you're already beating yourself up about every little thing, everything you ate, didn't eat, drank, didn't drink. Things, oh, I didn't go for a walk, and I didn't go for a little 30-minute walk for a whole week now because I've just been so tired. I wonder if that's bad for me, blah, blah, blah. You're already beating yourself up about that stuff. You're beating yourself up about your new physical appearance, and then you have people that want to comment on it. Like, leave me alone. And then the acne, I forgot to say that. I had bad acne when I was pregnant. I already still, as an adult, get blemishes and whatnot, pimples. That's a mark from a recent big ass pimple I just had. There's a mark on my nose from a recent pimple that I just had. And then when you're pregnant, it's all over here because it's hormonal. For some reason, when you're on your period or you're pregnant, it's all hormonal. So you get it all around here. That's weird. But yeah, here. And it's annoying. And then maybe your skin's extra dry now, or your skin's now extra oily, and you're like, what? I don't know how to handle this. I never had this problem before. It is a lot. So keep your stupid ass comments to yourself. Okay? Okay. So I know there's a lot more I could say, but I do not want this video to be too long, and I'm pretty sure it's already gonna be on the longer side. So with that being said, I'm gonna wrap up the ugly series part 1. Follow me on all social media at Mommin, MOMMIN_W Keisha, KEISHA. That is for TikTok, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram. That's where you can find me, and you're already here on YouTube, so you might as well hit that subscribe button and turn on your post notification bell. So whenever I post a new video, you'll be notified and you won't miss it. I'm almost to my first goal of 100 subscribers, and then I will be doing a giveaway. I'm not going to tell nobody what it is until I reach that 100 subscriber mark, but it will be something good, I hope. So go ahead and subscribe, leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up. Please feel free to check out my other videos. Let me know what you think about this part 1. If you have any input that you feel you want to put out there about the ugly side of pregnancy, the ugly side of postpartum life, and the ugly side of motherhood, go ahead and comment them, because I will add them to my video. If you want to be anonymous, hit me up on one of those social media platforms that I just told you about in my inbox, and that way your name won't show in the comment section, and I could, you know, if I choose to use your input in my video, I can keep you anonymous. If you don't care, then just drop it in the comment section and I could use it if I decide to. But yeah, I just really wanted to put it out there, the ugly side of it. And remember, everyone's different. Every pregnancy is different. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and I will be back with part 2, which will be talking about labor. And then we'll talk about the postpartum life, which is a very serious topic, and people don't talk about the ugly side of it enough at all. So we're going to talk about that. Any questions, comments, whatever, let me know. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next video.